right. So I did the intro video on physical health, which is a lot of information very quickly from various backgrounds of philosophy and thought and history and experiencing and the healths. So I wouldn't really expect you to take that all in, but I did need to get a kind of framework of the outline of what physical health is. Now that we know that, let's become a little bit more practical with that information. So we'd say that what kind of actions constitute as physical health related? We would say that it is not the same of just doing an action. We could do many actions that lead to non-healthy outcomes and be stuck in that. In fact, if we still do an action that's not so healthy, but take health from it, knowing now that that is not the way to pursue the thing that we want, it becomes a healthy action. It becomes a physical health action, right? So we can say that you can go to the gym, lift weights, and you will become physically strong, but still this might not be a physical health action. You might get hurt. And if you get hurt or injured, then we're probably being told we're going in the wrong direction. Maybe too quickly, maybe we don't have enough downtime. We're being told that something's missing, and therefore we need to seek for the physical health experience in that. We said before that if it leads to injury and that injury says, wow, you know what, now I need to take care of my body in a different way, and we start pursuing taking care of the body, we're slowly now moving towards that physical health action, right? We can say we can eat really good, and if we're living a stressful lifestyle, we haven't completed the kind of physical action. And now you start to see how challenging a physical action based on physical health is a lot more deep within action, right? We often look at fitness as our standard of being healthy. We really want to put that in the right category, and this is a physical way of thinking of it. We'd say that just because these things make us physically stronger doesn't mean we're getting the proper nutrition from it, because we're not concerned with the end outcome immediately. We're concerned with the long-term version. Essentially, this can also look like these things that we used to call values and morals. And when you stick to something, like even a passion, when you stick to that long enough and pursue it long enough, then pieces of physical health will come out of it. Always. So there's not one path to physical health, there's many. However, we're still taking out the value, I guess, of each action, looking at them very closely, making them a part of ourselves. This is going to be considered a part of our character. Our character, based on previous definitions, Alfred Adler, is going to be our lifestyle now. So we'd say that character, based on Adler's definition, is our basic childhood character now made lifestyle, right? And we'd say that we want to not still have the same character that we had as childhood in adulthood. We should kind of grow that thing. And how do we grow that thing? This is going to be the physical health. We're going to have to take certain experience and say, you know what, this is not me, and I'm going to stay away from things like that. And in the resistance to doing those things, we slowly now build that piece of character that will be with us for the rest of our life. In fact, our character is one thing that floats with us throughout the years and can change, but is only changed by consistent and persistent pursuit of a physical health thing. Now, that being said, we now can see a little bit more the value behind it, yes. The challenge of finding it, yes. The hard work that goes into it, absolutely. And this is really the key of what physical health brings to the table. We have mental health, it's trying to solve for this physical health thing. We have emotional health is trying to point to this physical health thing. When they all align together, we get that physical health. We get the understanding of the importance of stretching, and therefore we stretch. The action now is continuous. We work towards it. We stretch this day. I used to only stretch for 5 minutes, now 10 minutes, now every day. And then we look for balance in that as well. and then we kind of refined that. This is now a part of how we live, our lifestyle, our character, and therefore we can use that as a foundation to now base other healthy actions on top of. Now, knowing that, we cannot really use the gym as our prime example of what physical health is. We cannot really use nutrition as the same thing. We cannot really use therapies by practitioners as the same thing. Although all of these are pieces that can make up a physical health action, it is not the thing itself. The thing itself is deeper and more stable and more persistent and stays longer. This is our kind of long-term outcome. This is the longevity in health, if you will. And in finding these things, it is a little bit more human. It's a little bit more natural. It's a little more organic. It is something that we have to find for ourselves. However, there can be guidance to this thing. And we'd say in kind of balancing out our emotional health and balancing out our mental health, they point so much more strongly to the physical experience needed to gain the physical health aspect. And when we gain that physical health aspect, we become healthy. We've now walked into the environment of health when we have so many bricks laid out of this physical health thing. And in this environment of health, things take on a new character, things take on a new beauty, things take on a new value. And we are so much more careful in how we walk through that forest, if you will. We take in the preciousness of all the things around us and therefore have a better balance to finding more treasures of physical health and to add to our environment of health. All right, so that is a little bit more softer version of explaining, hopefully. I'm sure I'll come back and kind of put it in smaller chunks so it kind of makes a little bit more sense to everybody. But hopefully this kind of opens the mind to what physical health is like.